When you're buying a home, you have the sales price. That's the price you're paying. But if you think that's the only thing you're spending money on, I got some bad news for you. Fees, points, credits, title, escrow. Guys, there can be so many fees that add up. You go in thinking you're gonna spend one price, you end up spending a lot more. And it's because of this that I wanted to do a video on the top 10 hidden fees when buying a house that people don't talk about, or maybe they do, but they're just not as well known as that big sales price. Now, this won't be a video about once you buy the house and fees that occur down the line, maintenance fees. Guys, you better fix that water heater or else you're gonna have a big problem. No, it's not gonna be like that, guys. This is the top 10 hidden fees when acquiring, going through the process, going through all that paperwork and legality of purchasing your property. Top 10 fees. Let's do it. Fee number 1 is the home inspection. Well, wait a second. You already knew about the home inspection, Matt. This is day one stuff. However, did you know that the home inspection is due up front? It's due immediately. Some of these fees we're going to cover are going to be due at closing. Not the home, I'll point those out. Not the home inspection though. That is due up front immediately. Did you also know that the home inspection might cost up to $800? Yes, $800, depending on the size of the house. Now, it's important to remember what the home inspection is. You gotta go out as a purchaser, do your independent research to find a great home inspector. I'd be a little bit wary if your real estate agent kind of pushes you. When I say push, it might be forced into a certain home inspector or a certain company. There's a lot of real estate agents out there that have really good relationships with home inspectors, but as a buyer, do you really want your real estate agent to be best friends with your home inspector? Probably not. Now, as a purchaser, go out there, do your independent research. This is not a time to, put on your tinfoil hat, think that everyone's against you and, you're gonna get some report that maybe is hiding some things. However, that possibility is always out there. Me, I choose a company. I choose US Inspect. Now, this is not a paid endorsement. They didn't pay me to say that. If you're watching this US Inspect, maybe we can work something out in the future. But I use them. They have maybe 10, maybe 20 inspectors. They send out a different one every time. I don't know who's coming out till they actually get there. I like them. They do good work. They're very thorough. For the home inspection, upfront fee could be up to $800, and be sure you're going out there doing independent research. You as a buyer, it's your house, it's your property, your home. You should be in charge of who's doing the home inspection. Fee number 2 is the appraisal fee. Now guys, you're gonna notice a common theme here, and that is once you go under contract, once you sign off on those final initials, once you enter escrow, you're gonna have to start paying money. Even if closing is 30, 60, 90 days out, once you sign the contract, the fees start adding up. So the appraisal fee, that's due up front, that's due immediately once the appraisal is done. Reason being, because if anything happens, the loan doesn't go through, something happens along the way, maybe in that home inspection we were talking about, well, the appraiser still needs to be compensated. Expect the appraisal fee to be anywhere from around $400 to $500. Fee number 3 is the earnest money deposit. Now, this isn't as much as a fee as it is a upfront cost that you gotta pay immediately that will eventually go towards your side of the closing costs. Let's take a closer look at the earnest money deposit and what actually happens once you submit your offer. Well, in its simplest form, what you're doing when you submit your offer is you're sending over a piece of paper, hopefully by email, that says you're gonna follow through on purchasing a property for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Well, the seller needs more than that to take the property off the market. They need a little skin in the game. So you as a buyer, you also submit your earnest money deposit, your EMD, usually in the amount of 1.5% to 3% of the sales price. This is a good faith deposit that you will move forward and go through with the contract as written. And at the end of the day, once you go to closing, that earnest money deposit, that amount is credited to your side of the closing costs. Fee number 4 is title insurance. Title insurance, everyone's least favorite real estate topic. Can we all agree that title insurance is super boring? Guys, I could be like juggling like chainsaws that are on fire talking about title insurance, and you'd still like skip the video, like you wouldn't watch it. It is so incredibly boring, puts me to sleep even just talking about it. But with title insurance, you probably should get it. Let's talk about insurance for a second because, you could probably go a year without health insurance, right? You could probably go a year or two without dental insurance. You might not get any dates if your teeth start turning yellow, but, you could probably go a year without car insurance. Well, I think that last one might actually be a crime now. But you get what I'm saying with insurance is usually you're just paying for peace of mind and you never actually use it. However, what is that peace of mind worth to you? Because when you're buying a piece of property, this is hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is a huge asset. You want to be able to protect your asset. Because if you don't, someone may have a lien on your property and they will legally take it. This isn't those, stories you read on Yahoo where the people rented out the Airbnb and the squatters just, took over their property. Now they own it. It's like not one of those crazy stories. It's like mechanics lien, old sister of the uncle of the stepwife maybe owns the property and, the deed got lost along the way. Title insurance is like a necessary evil to me, at least. You got to pay for owner's title insurance, which is usually starting around $1,000. You also got to pay for lender's title insurance, which is starting around $1,000. Grand total starting around $2,000 that you'll see on the closing disclosure. Hopefully, you never have to make use of that title insurance, but I'd recommend it whenever I purchase property. I always get title insurance and I always complain about getting title insurance. Fee number 5 is the county transfer tax. Whenever you buy or sell property in a jurisdiction, that jurisdiction is going to take their cut of the pie. Now, it may only be a small cut. It may only be the crumbs, but you better believe they're going to get their little grubby hands in and take your hard-earned money. On a recent $400,000 property that my buyer purchased, the county transfer tax was around $350, excuse me, didn't mean to give you a heart attack there. County transfer tax around $350, and since they had a mortgage and Virginia charges a mortgage tax, I know, ridiculous, you got to pay more money because you're borrowing money, doesn't make any sense, but there's also a county mortgage tax of around $300. Grand total transfer tax $350, county mortgage tax $300. That's an extra $650 out of your pocket, just like that. Fee number 6 is the state transfer tax. I'm gonna start sounding like a broken record pretty soon, but hey, states got to get their money too, and it's gonna be a little bit higher. Obviously, it's gonna vary by whatever state that you're in. To give you an idea, here in the state, the Commonwealth of Virginia, the approximate equation is 25 cents for every $100 of property, or what you do is you multiply the sales price by 0.0025. So on that recent $400,000 purchase of my buyer's, you multiply that by 0.0025 and you get $987.50 or about $1,000. This is actually yen. It's like 20 bucks or like $60, but there's no $1,000 in America, but hey, I think this works. $1,000. While we're talking about the state, let's touch on the state mortgage tax as well. Virginia is one of the few states that actually charges buyers to get a mortgage. It's ridiculous, I know, and it's the same percent as before with the transfer tax, 0.0025 multiplied by the mortgage amount, not the sales price, but the mortgage amount to get you that state mortgage tax. So on that $400,000 property, state mortgage tax is around $969.75. Add that to the $987.50. Carry the 2, add the 4. You got about $1,950, almost $2,000 in fees alone that you're paying to the state. That's coming out of closing. Ouch. Fee number 7 is property tax. Lots of taxes here. What's that one like political party that they hate taxes and don't want to pay to actually? Let's not bring politics into this. I'm good with that. But hey, property taxes paid at closing. Usually most jurisdictions are biannually, paid twice a year. So depending on what time of year you're buying your property, they are going to be prorated at closing up until half the year or up until the end of the year. Be sure you're working with your title agent so you can kind of get a better idea of how much taxes are due at closing and then when your first payment will also be due. One last thing to note about property taxes is that they are based on the value of your house obviously. So if you're buying a property for more than what it sold for previously, which is maybe 99.9% of you, your property taxes are going to go up in the future. Fee number 8 is the homeowner's insurance premium. This is paid at closing and it's paid for a 12-month period. National average last year is around $1,000. So expect to pay around $1,000 at closing for this. Obviously, you're working with your dream team of your real estate agent, your lender, and your title attorney to make sure that these numbers are correct for your jurisdiction. But man, we are on fee number 8 right now, $1,000. I don't know about you, but these fees are starting to add up for me. And we still got 2 left. Fee number 9 is your HOA transfer fee. This is paid at closing. It's around $300 depending on the HOA, and it goes towards putting you in the system. And that's about it. It's a waste of money. If you're an HOA president, HOA treasurer, you probably hate me right now, but in my opinion, if you are moving into an HOA, you're gonna pay money. You're not gonna get anything back for it. That's just the way it is. That's just life sometimes. When you move into an HOA, you gotta pay the transfer fee. You're not gonna like the value that you get back from it, because there is none. And the last fee, fee number 10, is title services. Things like the settlement fee, the title binder, title abstract, title closing agency, and more. We don't really have to touch on what those actually mean. That's not the point of this, but the point is those weird words that I just said with title in front of them, they add up to around $550, maybe even $600. Now, you as a consumer, you may see fee and instantly think negotiate, oh, I'll get them down a little bit. I know in my area in Northern Virginia, there's a company that advertises $250 all in, all fees covered, we got you covered. Well, I don't know if that's the best solution. As a title attorney, as a lawyer, as a settlement agent, what is your differentiator? What value do you bring to the table? Is it because you can undercut everyone else? Is that the value that you bring? As a buyer, you know, you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you're negotiating with these title companies, you might save $50. Hey, you might even save $100 and you've won, good job. But is it really worth it? Do you really want to go with the lowest attorney out there? This is how these attorneys make money. This is how they're in business. I'm pretty sure if you kick and scream and whine and yell, you can save 25 to 50 bucks on your title fees, but you're going with the lowest of the low attorneys in terms of quality. For such a big purchase, what is it worth to you? Just like in life, when it comes to real estate attorneys, have you heard of the expression, you get what you pay for? Well, with real estate attorneys, you get what you pay for. And bonus round, we have one more hidden fee. Numero, Spanish for number, 11, is the condo move-in fee. If you're buying into a condo association, they will find a way to charge you and reserve the elevator. So the condo move-in fee is usually paid at settlement. Depending on the association, most condo fee move-ins are going to be around $100 to $300. I've seen them as high as $700. Granted, the condos there go for $5 million, so the $700 may not matter to some folks, but that's okay, neither here nor there. But the condo move-in fee usually around $100 to $300. Sometimes you can get it looped in at closing. If you don't want that, you can just pay it when you move in. So be sure if you're buying a condo that you know if this fee is at closing or after closing. There you have it, the 11, see what I did there? The 11 hidden fees of purchasing a house. If you like this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for weekly real estate videos. Okay, thanks for watching. Until next time, create a productive day. Take care.